Charlie, wake up. Still asleep. Oh. Oh, God. Time to watch anime. No! Well, if you'd woken up when I used the taser. Oh.
Hi, and welcome to Charlie versus Anime, which is what we're calling this now,
Yes.
to
Yes.
avoid copyright.
This week,
This week. Next week, it'll probably be something different. So this week, Amanda was kind enough to show us Riding Bean. Yes. Which, when I heard the title, I was real excited.
Tell them why you were
Yeah,
excited.
why were you
Charles.
excited?
Why were you
That's- You knew
What?
nothing about this.
what did you think Riding Bean meant, Charlie?
I mean, it's anime, so I had thoughts. All right. So Riding Bean.
Yes.
Which, may I say, that is the dirtiest sounding.
It's really dirty sounding.
Like,
But I'm here to tell you, this is
Okay.
not going to be the dirtiest title you've ever heard.
No.
I mean,
Is
it's good because it's good instructions.
You might not have been too far.
I wasn't too far from it. So this shit. Woo! So Amanda, please tell us how you came across Riding Bean.
Okay, so much like you in my younger days, I worked at a video store.
Yep.
And that was on the VHS, and one of the few that we actually had at the time. This is a 1989 film.
Oh, we could tell.
Yeah, well. So actually, that is an OVA from a series called Gunsmith Cats,
Oh.
where in Bean, Rally, the blonde, is a side character. In the original, she's the main character, and she drives around in the GT500 as a bounty hunter and runs a gun shop.
Okay.
So this
And-
was sort of a side thing they had going.
She gave all that up for Bean Bandit.
She gave all that
I
up to
mean-
ride the bean.
I mean, he's real strong.
So, Riding Bean, we're introduced to a robbery. Oh God! Damn!
Just your everyday robbery.
What
Why
the hell?
is she naked?
What? He's just. That must be Tuesday.
Yeah. Yes.
And there's a guard that's been shotgunned. Like the first thing in the movie is a guard that's been shotgunned to death. And this movie's real weird with the gore because sometimes it's super gory, like this guy that's been realistically shotgunned to death and his guts are all hanging out. And it's awful. And then later there's other things that happen that should be real nasty and nothing happens.
No.
I like that in the intro. Well, I didn't like. I just thought it was interesting. Like is the wrong word.
Right.
It was interesting that they robbed a bank in the mall, a jewelry store.
A jewelry
We'll
store.
say
They
jewelry
robbed
store.
a jewelry store and they made the lady that works there take all her clothes off except her tennis shoes, which I imagine she wasn't originally wearing tennis shoes because in a jewelry store you don't. If you work there, you're wearing
Yeah.
like heels so you can like seduce people into buying crappy jewelry. But she was naked.
Totally
and they
nude.
went to the point of like putting tan lines on her
Yeah.
from where she like goes to the beach.
At first, I was like, "Is this just like a kind of pinkish bathing suit?" And I was like,
No.
"Oh no,
No.
No, she's naked.
she's
Yeah.
naked."
There was
She's nude.
circle.
It was a good thing she
Nipples, yeah.
shaved that day
It was.
because. Well, at least they let the booby lady live.
Right.
Oh, that's his homies. She was totally nude.
Which is odd because that wasn't a thing in the 80s. From what I
No,
understand.
no,
But
it wasn't.
anime.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
for real people.
Yeah.
No.
But you know, it's a lot easier to just have like naked down there for animation than have to draw those little
I
hairs.
mean, that's
in every-
what Mattel has been doing for years. So.
Yeah, maybe she was a Barbie. But they run.
through the mall.
with this naked girl.
Just dragging this
naked
naked
girl.
woman who's
And-
like attempting to cover up her dignity.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and the mall security, are taking shots at them from the second story.
Why does mall security have weapons?
Well, as this show establishes, this is in Chicago.
It is.
So, Tuesday.
That's
Right.
okay.
Right.
So they
Tuesday.
they drag this poor naked woman through the mall, and they leave her at the entrance after shotgunning, like firing a shotgun at her.
Yeah, hit the wall.
Because she wasn't scared enough.
Right. Right. She had already had the humiliation of being dragged through her place of work nude.
And seeing
now
her coworker shot in the head and body and dick and everything.
Right. Now she has the
just
humiliation
weird.
of probably, I mean, I would have peed and or defecated myself at the mall entrance.
Yeah.
So these horrifying criminals, one of which is very short, get into the car with our hero, their getaway driver, Bean Bandit,
Also known as the Road Buster.
which is funny because that was my Tinder profile name. So, Bean Bandit has this supercar whose superpower is that it is bulletproof and the wheels turn perpendicular.
Yes.
So it can move side to side.
Yes.
And I mean, this
As
is
a moonroof.
oh, right, and a moonroof. I mean, in the 80s, that was the shit.
I didn't see a cup holder in the whole thing.
No.
I mean, so that moonroof is a big deal.
So they get away. He evades the cops. Probably kills a few people through the chase, as seems to be a recurring thing in this movie.
Indirectly.
Yes, our hero indirectly kills all of these people via car accidents.
Sure.
They stop at a junkyard, and he takes his cut, which pisses off the other two criminals because it's a larger cut than they get, and because the jewelry store only had tens,
Yeah.
and that was the problem.
Yeah.
It wasn't that it was a small sum. The head burglar was just mad that it was all tens.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And he
which-
was mad at the small burglar. Like
Yeah.
it was their fault.
Like it was
Of
their
course.
fault. So he takes his cut and dips, and then the one burglar takes off. The smaller burglar takes off her mask, and it's like a 12-year-old girl. Oh, they're girls.
No, before that, they drove through a warehouse.
Yeah.
And the girl got caught. She took the mask off then.
And she had like a little like wig on, and she put on a baseball cap so like security cameras wouldn't catch her, I guess.
Right.
She did it so the security cameras would catch her
Oh,
because
right.
she looked like this other girl that had got
Okay.
kidnapped.
Ah, okay.
I didn't catch all that.
catch all
You're,
that.
that's the way that movie plays out.
I just caught that she had a wig and a hat on
Yes.
And a skin peel.
and a skin peel face. I mean, it seems like she would have been a big bobblehead at that
Yeah,
point.
there's just like so much hair and
But I mean,
a
that's-
wig and then another wig.
But I mean, that's anime bobbleheads.
Totally, yeah.
So, and then the taller burglar takes his mask off and then his wig off and does his Mission Impossible skin peel.
Yes.
And instead of Tom Cruise, it's a dominatrix with a Karen haircut.
Yes. It's Donna Karen.
Donna Karen.
Donna Karen.
And she hacks up a voice ring, which I guess...
That shit's not real. Because
Yeah.
I'd be using one if it was, okay?
That shit is super not real.
No.
But it's 1989, and they had cars that could transform and bullets.
the
like,
whole film is like vaguely science fiction,
Right.
but not enough to be sci-fi, like that
Right.
genre.
Right.
Right, like it seems to want to be an 80s action, an 80s American action film.
Yes.
But it's just with all the stupidest parts of those movies exaggerated.
Right. It's a high octane, testosterone filled Bayfest, is what it is.
To that point, the very
Oh, yeah.
next scene we cut to the fan service portion of our film, which is
Rally.
Rally. I knew it was some kind of race. Rally dressing for the morning, and it's very lovingly shot.
It's tastefully done. Yeah.
Greatest grip of all time.
Female is the deadliest of the species.
River, why are you licking my arm?
Like she blended up the food without putting the lid on it.
Hey, Watson. Come on.
Good lord. It's nice to see fan service was alive and well in 1991.
Of course.
Here I come.
Like,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, I guess those are some quality anime titties.
If you're going to shoot bad guys, why not dress accordingly?
I mean, in a tie and
Thigh-high garter and
Pencil
stockings.
skirt.
And yeah.
yeah.
So,
If you're
very
trying-
classy.
If you're trying to run away and do crimes, do it in a pencil skirt and a
Yeah,
tie,
yeah.
so you can do it as
Everybody has a
uncomfortably as
type.
possible.
Yep.
But you'll look real good.
Right.
Real good. So,
I mean, I'm jealous they can do all that without getting a single run in their stockings. To be honest. I mean,
so Rally unlocks it. Did she have all those locks on her door too?
yeah.
Yeah. Unlocks all of the locks on her door, which okay makes sense.
Chicago.
Chicago, and goes into the living room where Bean is sleeping.
Like in a real sexy pose.
Oh, yeah.
Like
He looks like he's like,
posing.
yeah.
Oh. Just tase him. Just do it. Just do it.
Let's hurt so good.
Oh God! Why?
You know what? Let's just move on.
Yeah. Because it's going to get bumpier.
Yeah.
So she tries to wake Bean up first with a taser,
Yeah.
Yeah.
which he reacts and then goes back to sleep. So then she takes the eggs in the frying pan that were frying. So she takes the hot pan off and smacks it in his face, and he's got this,
Look,
she's
rests
pressed it on his face.
which I guess explains why he has this X scar on his
If
face.
that's how he wakes up every day.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Pretty much.
I mean, so
Yeah.
a customer shows up to their door and brings with him this young girl,
Who's asleep.
which is going to be a running theme in this movie. Brings our heroes a young girl and says that you have to take her somewhere.
Back to her house.
back to her house.
Because they escaped a ring of kidnappers and made their way there.
Gotcha.
Was what they were
So
told.
what is it he says? Kidnapping children is not my strong suit.
Yeah, at some
Right.
point he does. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
What?
It seems
I
to be
mean,
what
good.
you're all about.
Good? I guess.
So the bodyguard that brought this girl is having this conversation with Bean and Rally, and
Not the name of two dogs that the
No.
director has at home.
no, is it?
I don't know. Probably.
I would believe that. You could have just said yes. and
Yeah,
I'd been
I
like,
know.
Yep, that tracks.
That's right. Yeah.
So the bodyguard gets shot up
Yeah.
with silencers that are very loud. So dude gets shot a lot. Cleanly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when he gets shot, like there's blood everywhere. Like
Yeah.
and then when it cuts back to him after they're done shooting up the entire apartment, he's splayed out on the floor completely clean.
Super dead.
Yeah.
Bean is on the couch. He just popped his collar because his jacket is Kevlar.
Yeah.
And he just flicks the bullets out. So, Bean and the little girl is fine because he flipped the couch. Mm-hmm. And apparently
She's still asleep.
she's
Yeah.
still asleep.
Like
'cause his
she
little-
slept through all of this because they probably drugged her.
Yeah.
I maintain that they
Like-
drugged that girl with Benadryl.
Children's Benadryl. I've given it to my dog.
They've given her adult Benadryl. Ain't children level.
That don't
It's
do
adult level
crap.
Benadryl.
Knocked out. Like that stuff will put you to sleep.
So they decide that maybe if they take this little girl to her dad, they'll get the reward money or
Yeah,
some
they'll
kind
get
of
paid.
reward money.
And they're always recording everything everyone says in their
Yep.
apartment. So they have a recording of this guy being like,
I am bodyguard so and
Yeah,
so.
Yeah,
Morris.
I've done all these things. Please take this little girl with you.
Yeah. So they drive to before they show up at the Grimwood estate.
It's a great last name though. Grim.
Yeah, like the Grimwood estate. Like
Yeah.
nothing good happens there.
Yeah.
Riding Bean versus Grimwood. So
Jesus Christ.
Yeah, good luck later on this evening.
Oh, gross. Oh God.
we're introduced.
Oh my god!
Now we have to keep that joke. So,
Yeah, yeah, we do.
I have to rate this video 18 and up.
Well,
yeah, we are. So we're introduced to the best character in this show.
What? Oh God.
Oh,
This is
God.
my favorite character in this show. This guy's amazing.
You gotta be kidding! Why do I have to work alone in kidnapping case?
What do you mean, why? Do you have
Are they
any
gonna
idea
kiss?
how much Grimwood pays in town?
Like, this is closer than Star Trek faces get.
Yeah.
Like, they're touching.
Percy, Detective
Jim Gordon!
Detective Percy, who has this rocket handlebar mustache.
It's blonde.
Blonde. He's blonde. He's got this big popped collar with his black shirt and his red tie and his white jacket.
And he's as tanned as that beer.
He is. He's a shade darker.
Very orangey.
He's very orange.
Oh,
He is yelling with his captain about wanting to catch Bean.
yes.
And his captain's like, you need to go catch these kidnappers instead. I don't want to.
Like, I want the road buster.
And
Right.
his teeth get bigger when he gets mad.
Everybody's teeth.
Everybody's teeth grow in their mouth when they're angry.
Like halfway through the movie, everybody's got those kids' Dracula teeth, like those big
Yeah.
white, like
It's an orthodontist nightmare, is what you're saying.
it's horrifying. Like I just have to imagine they retract, especially into Bean's face, which I haven't said this yet, but Bean's face looks like a bean, like it's
Yeah,
shaped,
like a kidney bean.
whoop, and he's got like Jay Leno chin, and he's got these giant choppers that all scrunches into the center of his face, like his whole face
Yeah.
is like
his head
3
is
inches
huge.
long,
Yeah.
and his head is huge. So, anyways, Percy doesn't want to chase down Bean, but he's gonna have to. And then Bean and Raleigh show up at the Grimwood estate,
Yes.
and Bean talks shit to them and announces over his loudspeaker
Yeah,
that he has
because-
outside the car.
Because he
Because,
won't
yeah.
roll his window down.
Yeah, because if it's bulletproof, sound
Right.
is
And
not
he-
as effective.
He plays the tape and he tells them, "Oh, you know, I'm here. I've got the little girl," and they're like, "Just let the little girl out of the car." Which, I mean, he probably should have.
Yeah. And then
But what happens next? Yeah.
they flash back to like his apartment with the dead guy, and the dead guy just gets up.
Is everyone in this a secret girl? Yes.
Is this that girl from last night?
Yeah.
Okay.
Is Bean secretly a girl?
Probably.
Right.
Yeah.
And pulls his mask off, and it's Karen.
It's Karen
Karen
What's her
Dominatrix.
Karen Nathan.
Shimmer.
Shimmer.
Yeah, Dama Karen.
Dama Karen.
Sun,
We'll
so,
get to that.
so yeah. So the bodyguard was secretly Sunset Shimmer the whole time.
/ Android 18.
That's a porn name right there. Sunset,
That was for
Sunset
you.
Shimmer.
Thanks. So is that going to be a running thing? Somehow we're going to slip My Little Pony into every one of these? Thanks.
Is that a pony name?
Sunset
sounds
Shimmer,
like it
yeah,
would be one.
It is.
Yeah.
That's a pony.
Oh, Sunset.
You
Shimmer.
could make up so many pony names, and I'd be like, oh,
Challenge accepted.
that sounds like a pony.
Probably.
Anyway.
So
Moving on.
yes, Karen was secretly the bodyguard, and the guards don't believe Bean, even though he's got the little girl in his backseat and he's bringing her home.
And they're like, we don't know who this guard was. We've never heard that name.
Right. So one of the guards talks shit. He sounds kind of like the dad from that '70s show.
I
So
don't know
yeah,
the Reds.
Red Foreman demands that he roll down his window, and then when he doesn't, he spits on the car.
Yes.
It's
Like
like,
a
oh,
lot of spit.
Yeah.
Like it's
Yeah.
a lot.
yeah, he triggered the bean.
Be careful what you say next.
So after Red Foreman flicks Bean, Bean gets real angry and murders him with his car.
Okay, so you skipped over him putting nuts in his mouth.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's right.
We have to have that in if you weren't going to say it.
For some reason, Bean stuffs his mouth full of walnuts. About like that.
And he's
A little less
Yeah,
Godfather-y.
not one or two, like a fistful.
like, yeah, a handful, full handful of nuts in his
Right
mouth.
in his mouth.
Which is fine, because he has this gigantic mouth and these nutcracker teeth. So he cracks these nuts, which I pointed out will make more of a mess in his car
You did.
than the spit that he could have just wiped off.
Yeah, you were not wrong.
And then he uses his car's special secret maneuver to turn the wheels perpendicular and then run the guy up a tree and spin the wheel on him.
And this guy's not bleeding through any of this.
No.
He's like completely solid.
No,
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
guy should have been sausage.
Right.
But
there should have
he's-
been like bits of human flying off of him.
Yeah, but he's just rubber.
Yeah.
And he just flips him off and he just... And then Bean tries to make his getaway, but Percy shows up and demands that he surrender because now he's got the car, which is a Shelby GTO.
Yeah,
GT
Shelby
500.
Yeah.
GT500 that he's going to
Beautiful
chase
car,
him
beautiful
down in
car.
for a minute.
It starts out that way.
Yeah.
So I can't believe I remember all this.
Yeah. And then that's about
Yeah.
the time that they pull out the anti-tank rifle.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
And shoot it at the car.
Which has the girl inside of it that they're trying to rescue.
Child. Who wakes up?
Yeah.
Why?
Who wakes up during this? So she's
Yeah.
been asleep
Oh.
the whole
time.
time.
Even with the machine gun fire outside, she's been passed out. Now she wakes up because they're firing an anti-tank rifle at them. So Bean makes his getaway after slamming Percy into his GTO,
Right?
Not a tree.
not a tree. So he was fine.
Yeah, because
Well, slam is like a harsh word. It's
He
more like
trapped-
pinned him.
Yeah.
Pinned
He
him right
pinned him
against
so he
you.
couldn't pull his rifle out and shoot.
Right, because
And they have a little like lovers quarrel.
they have a little lovers'
Little
quarrel.
bromance, if you will.
Yeah, and then Bean goes.
Bean goes, and Percy chases him in the GTO.
no.
Oh.
Because they couldn't, because apparently the tires are
The
made
tire.
of jello.
Right. Because of the
glass.
anti-tank rifle that hit the car.
Shattered some glass and
some-
shot it into the wheel.
Some off-screen policeman's like, "Oh no, it's glass!"
To helpfully explain what happened.
to helpfully explain the picture of glass shards in the wheel. Like we weren't.
That was massive. That thing was like that
Yeah.
big sticking out of the
That was
side.
practically an entire windshield.
Right.
So Bean drives off, and they go get food.
Yeah, they stopped
Yes.
at like a makeshift Sonic's.
Yeah, they stop at Sonic, and Bean orders 30 ribs and a case of Bud.
The Flintstone meal.
Oh, no need to worry. Okay, I'll have 30 ribs and a case of Bud.
30 ribs in a case of vodka?
Bud.
Bud? Oh, still.
Because, you pull up to Sonic, and you order a case of Bud Light and 30 ribs.
Two, okay,
Not even the varsity pulls that shit off.
Is he Gaston?
That's a good analogy, actually.
Yeah.
Right.
It is a Flintstone man.
It is.
Yeah.
Like, that's ridiculous. So Karen's little hench child is in a room.
Right. This scene. Yeah.
I don't like it.
Is in a room with this middle-aged man, who we find out is Mr. Grimwood, the little girl that Bean has as daughter.
Correct.
Her Yeah.
Mr.
Yeah.
Grimwood is the hostage in this scenario.
He has
Right.
on shackles on his wrists and on his ankles.
Right. So he's in a chair, and this little 12-year-old criminal mastermind.
We
comes in.
don't. Wait,
we
wait,
don't
wait.
know how old she is.
We don't know how old she is. She seems
Very young for her appearance.
teenage-ish.
Yeah.
Like if
Yes.
she was very short for a teenager, we're assuming this is not a complete child.
Based on personality, I'd probably put her around about 15. Maybe
Which
16.
is still super not okay for what's
Right.
about to happen.
Right, but it's
It's
better
still-
than 12.
Mildly horrifying.
Yes.
I think my point is we have to have this conversation.
It's going to be very...
We have to sit here and
It's going to
I
be
will make-
very, very cringe.
So,
Well, and this is a small part of the movie as a whole, but it's just a part that like will always stick with you.
it's
Right.
horrifying.
Forever.
So, this teenager, Mr. Grimwood mentions that he has to use the bathroom. And the teenager offers to help him with that. And he tells her, no, I'm too dirty. I haven't showered today.
Like a gentleman
He keeps
would.
trying to tell her no in like every. He's
Right.
like, no, please don't don't, no. Like consent is important here,
Right.
even if you're a hostage, and she's just like pushing.
No, I still haven't had a shower today. I'm filthy.
When the middle-aged man is the good
What?
guy is.
Oh no.
Right. And
So
then
like this isn't a bad guy.
and then Shimmer comes in, calls her a slut,
Karen.
Yeah.
beats the shit out of her.
Yeah.
Like elbows, knees,
Yeah, knees are in
punches,
the gut, yeah.
like
Gives her the one over.
gives her the one over. And
And this kid's like, yes, mistress.
yes, Mr.
I feel gross.
So
it.
it's horrible.
I hate it so much.
This part of the movie was so hard to sit through.
It's the age difference that's gross.
That goes without saying.
That's,
Right.
That's the 6'8" woman coming in and
So it's a height differential that really
No.
got you over.
Thank you.
no.
Thank you.
Like it just illustrated how much younger
Yeah.
Yes.
this person is.
I don't even remember where this scene went. It was
Well, after he gave her...
I had shriveled up inside myself.
After
at this
Shimmer
point.
gave the poor unfortunate soul the once over, that's when it shifts over to them having their
Yeah.
The
their,
lunch.
their lunch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With 30 ribs.
Yeah.
With 30 ribs.
The 30
That's
ribs.
what I was
Like,
excited
yeah.
to see, but we never saw.
The
No.
that weird subdom creepy scene that I won't say what it. Blech. That one made me mentally uncomfortable. 30 ribs makes me physically uncomfortable. Like, good God, that's a lot of ribs.
That's a lot of
But unfortunately, they never get the satisfaction of eating the ribs because shortly after that,
right?
Karen.
no, not Karen. Riley brings up how are they going to deal with the situation at hand and how they're going to find said person that set them up.
And they see
Until
that
they notice that semi truck that rolls by that was
Yeah.
involved in that getaway accident that they had from
Right.
earlier.
Yeah. When they
And-
were getting away.
So
from the mall.
what does Riley do when they spot this vehicle, Charlie?
she unloads on it with her revolver
At like 2
Yeah.
p.m.
at like 2 p.m.
daytime.
in the parking lot of Sonic towards the interstate on ramp, and she's just like blap 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 blap.
That truck.
Oh.
That's why.
Yeah.
This all makes sense now.
Yeah.
Oh, look, we can count plot. Oh my god!
Chicago.
You just pulled a gun out, shot it on a whip.
Our heroes, everyone.
Yeah.
And
Okay, so I
Karen Shimmer is in this car, or is in the truck.
She's in the truck in the passenger seat.
Yeah, she's
and
got a driver. Some dude.
henchman
Yeah.
that they just have a rotating cast of.
Yeah.
That
truck driver.
Yeah, she just pulls out of her pocket, apparently.
Well,
He
she's
gets
Karen, so
right. He gets horrifically shot in the face and like blood spray, and he's like wobbling and stuff, and she's trying to get control of the car. Bean and Raleigh and the Grimwood child
Yeah.
take off after them. Cut back to inside the truck, and the guy that just got shot in the face is fine.
Got a little bit
it
of
was just a
scar.
graze.
It was
Yeah.
just a scratch.
That's a lot of blood for just a scratch, but that's neither here or there.
Right. And
I'm just saying, that's
Bandit
a lot of blood
has
for it.
Raleigh take over the car while he climbs out of the moonroof, and Karen throws a pink grenade at him, and then she follows that up with a bunch of regular grenades.
Yeah.
I
And
guess.
they slam the brakes on. They don't actually get grenaded, but
Yeah.
it's just so many grenades.
so many
Yeah. 'Cause
grenades.
they cut back. He's got like fistfuls.
Fistfuls of
Like
them.
this
He's
ain't
like,
working.
"Whoop."
I almost expected him to shove them in his mouth like the walnuts and just.
And then they blow up and he's fine.
Yeah.
No, not that henchman. No. So
Percy hears about this, and I guess he's gotten his car fixed enough to where he can give
He
chicks.
got
His
the
tires
wheel
are
replaced.
fixed.
Yeah,
Yeah,
tires
he got the
replaced.
wheels
And
replaced.
he's waiting to get he's complaining about how sad he is that
Right.
he didn't get.
With all the fact that all this money he spent restoring the
the
vehicle.
car.
He wasn't able to get the riding bean.
the Roadbuster. That
The
happens a
Roadbuster.
little later, actually. That happens after the truck goes.
Oh, that's right.
They're on the chase a little bit.
They're
Yeah,
on.
in the truck.
It's a car movie, so there's a lot of car chases, and it gets all over the place.
Was it after she shoved her henchman down and
Yeah,
shot him
you
in the
can't
head?
overgo that.
Shoved his head onto the gas pedal so the truck would keep going.
Yep.
Okay.
So the truck keeps going. She hops into the trailer with her
Her ward.
companion.
Okay, companion is good. We'll use that.
I'm not. I hadn't gone by that one. But okay.
And the little girl's dad.
And the little girl's dad. And So Shimmer has the truck going towards the end of an interstate, like speed.
Yes.
Right.
And Bean is following them. And they bust out of the back out of it, like Knight Rider. Like,
Yes.
Right.
pow! Right out of the back, over Bean's car.
Mm-hmm.
And they spin off and drive away. The truck goes over the off-ramp. Bean hits the brakes real hard, and it doesn't quite work, even with his supercar. So he hits a button, or was it a
Switch?
little
Yeah, the
switch?
Yeah.
And these giant blades come out of the hubcaps and grind into the interstate,
In the concrete.
Yeah.
into the concrete. And Shimmer's just like, oh yeah, they're totally dead. It's fine. Let's go. Spoiler, they're not.
No.
Yeah.
They're fine.
Of course.
The movie didn't end there.
The
The movie
child
didn't-
probably fell asleep.
Right. I think she
I think
was.
she did.
Yeah,
she
she
went
probably
back
She
to
did.
probably
sleep.
passed out from
She did.
the shock.
The G's. The
Because, like-
G's just.
They get turned around and they're going back to chase Karen down. And, like, Raleigh looks behind and is like, oh, she's asleep again.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, she probably shit herself.
And then we go to Percy.
Then we get a Percy
Percy,
sitting
Right.
with his amazing mustache
With his amazing mustache.
and his ridiculous giant teeth.
Yep.
And he gets a call from the cop headquarters. And they didn't have the word human trafficking at the time of this. Instead, what was it?
Kitty underground porn ring.
Kitty underground porn or underground kitty porn ring.
That
is
was
what-
where they were worried this little girl was sent to.
That
Yeah.
is what
And I'm like,
dispatch
you know,
told him.
I'm really glad that they came up with a different term.
Yeah, codes and terminology has come a
'Cause,
long way since the 80s.
That would be weird to watch CNN and they're like, recently in Atlanta, a kitty underground porn ring was discovered and destroyed. Like, that would be weird.
Sometimes euphemisms help.
All I
That's-
know is Bean and his team partner and this little girl end up in a parking deck, and there's some guy there.
Suddenly, Shimmer has another henchman
Yes.
who
Oh,
has
yeah,
who
yeah.
has grabbed the Grimwood child.
She has to speak to the manager, and they gave her another henchman for free.
Yeah.
So so he's got a gun to the Grimwood girl, and he's negotiating with Raleigh this hostage situation. And Bean is hulking out at Shimmer. He's talking to her over the radio, and this was actually kind of smart, I thought, except for the stupid physics. There's a little transmitter she's got, and she's talking to him through that with,
Yeah.
with a headset suddenly.
Yeah, that she left in the car because they totally had that back in
Her
'89.
Bluetooth headset in 1989 that she has, and her little Bluetooth speaker. He cuts the speaker in half,
Yes,
and
like the pineapple from
right,
earlier.
and he hears the feedback and knows where she is. Turns around, throws a knife, which goes through the window into the passenger side door of the car she's hiding in. Takes the door off of its hinges and jams into the car next to it.
Yes.
For
Because
some reason.
Yes.
because he's the Hulk.
Yeah.
Which we find out again in a second when he pushes his hands through the metal car door, yanks it off the hinges, and throws it to the side.
Yeah.
It was round about this point that Shimmer's companion
Yeah. The
shows
unnamed.
up.
Yeah. Red.
Yeah, she never gets a name.
Yeah.
We could just call her Nike because she's got a Nike shirt on
Yeah.
the whole time. And it's not like a Nike branded shirt. Like, they just wrote the word Nike on it.
We should just refer to her as the victim.
The victim.
They were all victims.
You know, she was
victim.
the most victimized person
Yes.
in all of
Yeah,
this.
she told
Like,
us.
Yes,
there
she
was some.
was.
What is that syndrome? Of
Oh,
getting
Stockholm.
kissed?
Stockholm. She
Stockholm.
had
Totally.
Stockholm.
Totally.
Yes. So, Shimmer uses the victim as a hostage. Her girlfriend, her
Sub.
Yeah, that's accurate.
It is.
teenage sub. So this
There you go.
40-year-old woman
Her victim.
uses her teenage
Victim's probably better.
sub/victim as a hostage because Bean's a monster, but he won't hurt kids.
Right.
He's caused thousands upon thousands of
There were a lot
deaths.
of wrecks that had kids in the car.
Right,
Mm-hmm.
like
But
cars
he couldn't
flipping over.
see those kids, therefore they didn't exist.
They didn't exist.
Because he's a psychopath.
All those policemen that died in those car wrecks had wives and children and families. But it's okay because Bean
'Cause-
won't hurt kids.
Right.
So
Yeah, morals, man. Morals.
Right.
a man's got to have a code. So Karen
No
shoots
Like right in front of her face.
Right. Like
right in front of
three
her face.
shots in front of her face.
Bean puts down his other knife,
Right in the head.
Yes.
which I'm guessing would have just disintegrated Karen if he'd have just thrown it into her.
It would have been
And Karen shoots him like it was. I mean,
point
she-
blank in the head.
immediately, like he drops a knife and she's immediately just like blah. And I was like, okay, great,
Good job, Karen.
good job, Karen.
I mean, you're awful, but
You're a monster.
that was a clean shot.
Yeah, like
You
Look,
did.
good hit. Good hit.
At least you're accurate.
We hate
No.
you, but
no
I mean,
monologue, no nothing.
Right. No,
Okay.
no nonsense.
Yeah.
Perfect
Yeah.
villain. Just plow.
So
all villains should shoot like that, and they don't.
So this turns Bean into
A berserker.
No.
no
No, he was already there.
His eyes go like all.
different ways, and he wobbles and smacks the gun out of Karen's hand
Right.
somehow, like drunken master style.
Yes.
Right. That's yeah.
Is there a brain damage style of kung fu?
I mean, he took a bullet to the skull.
Because I think he just invented it. Is this the point where she runs off for
Yeah.
a second?
She
Yeah.
gets in
She
another
gets in-
car.
she
She
gets
gets in
into
the
a-
car that no longer
Right.
has the hinges on
That
it.
no longer
Yeah.
has the hinges, and runs him over,
Yeah.
Into
She
Into
knocks him
another
back into
car.
another car.
knocks him.
Then she
then-
runs the car into the car he's up against.
Right. So he's on the ground, squished between these two cars
Yeah.
that she just hit him with.
yeah. And she backs
And
up.
she
Backs
backs
up
up.
to do it again.
And he stands up.
He kind of recovers.
he sobers up.
He
That's
sobers
sobering
up. That clears
And
him
like
up.
like the little like gun thing, like the bullet pops out of his headband.
Yeah, he pops
because
the
his
bullet.
headband's made of Kevlar.
Yes.
Right, and his eyes go correct.
Yeah.
And
This show, Jesus Christ.
So
so he's what is it? He's a
he
so
gets up and shoulder tackles the car when she
That's
charges
right.
into him.
Yeah, she tries to run him over again, and he picks up the car.
Yeah. No.
No one punches like Gaston. No one shoots like Gaston. No one rips off the door of a car like Gaston.
Yeah, and they have a moment.
And they have a moment.
It's very strange.
You're like,
it seems
'cause
out
they're-
of place.
They're both
Right.
turned on at this point for some reason.
like they're both like and they're maniacally laughing at each other because they're both just really enjoying this so much.
They are.
In the meantime, the one competent person in this movie, Rally,
Percy is
he's all right.
cool.
Percy's
He's
cool, but he's not
cool.
competent.
I wouldn't
not
say
right.
competent. No.
Has the standoff with she's not going to let the Grimwood child be shot.
Right.
So he's like, turn over your. He asks her for her clip.
Yeah, throw me the gun.
Throw me the gun. She throws him the clip.
Right.
Little does he know she has one chambered, and when he catches it, she shoots him squall between the eyes.
Right.
And he actually dies.
He actually.
Yes.
He doesn't have a Kevlar headband.
No.
Right. He just had
So-
sunglasses, and they weren't Kevlar. So, how does he get out of holding up the car?
He flips it over.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He bodily flips this car over.
Like, cause she has like an inner thigh holster that
That's
had
right.
another gun.
She had a derringer in
Yeah.
between her legs.
She reaches for it. She cocks it. She tries to take a shot.
Chicago.
Not on the outside of her thighs, mind you.
Yeah.
No,
It's-
no.
it's-
This is
it's
that sexy
inner
part,
thigh.
the inner thigh. Yeah.
Right,
yeah.
right. It's crammed in there.
Yeah.
Like the chafing.
Right?
It'd be awful.
Yeah, clearly.
Like, even if you've got a sizable thigh gap, like the chafing from a gun being strapped.
You would
there.
accidentally shoot yourself.
Yes.
You would 100% shoot yourself in the knee.
I don't know. Like,
Or the
Try walking like that.
I'm just saying, as long as
Just
nothing
try
hits
it.
the trigger, you're fine. I mean, as she walks,
It's
she's
not-
probably
she
gonna
would-
cock the gun a lot, but like, I don't think it would go off. Anyway,
She's just dropping bullets out from underneath her skirt everywhere she's going. Okay.
Ma'am, you dropped this.
So,
Oh, thanks.
so Shira pulls the gun out, cocks it, and gets ready to shoot. You know, our main hero, the Bean, and Bean flips the car.
and Bean flips the car.
Yep.
And
Like you
then
do.
Karen's victim girlfriend comes out with a gun pointed at Bean.
Yes.
Yeah,
He's-
because she's very loyal.
She's very loyal.
She's very
gonna-
brainwashed.
Yes, she is.
all 4 feet of her is going to shoot Bean. And Karen is behind her also with another gun drawn in a pool of gasoline.
Yes.
So she grabs wants to shoot the little girl. Like
Yeah, oh,
her
yeah,
little
yeah.
girl.
Right, because...
Yeah. She said that he could have the money.
Right, right. She said, you can have the money, we'll leave town, you do whatever, just don't hurt my abuser anymore.
And Karen was like, "Excuse me?
No,
I don't think so."
excuse you, and shoots her.
Yeah,
It's
in the arm.
grazes her.
But it's still a pile of gasoline.
And that's still a pile of gasoline that Karen's in, and Karen explodes.
Which
Her victim is horrified.
Grim,
That's it.
Yeah,
No,
Grim,
Percy and them are waiting outside.
Yeah.
Singing Red Rover or something?
Oh, what was
Yeah.
This time.
And these crazy cops.
They're crazy. They're crazy. he's making like he's got a
got a
bullhorn.
Yeah, the bullhorn.
And he's like, sing louder, and they're all like, come
No,
out, Bean, come
yeah, come
out,
out.
Bean, come out and play.
Yeah.
All of the cops, are singing,
Bean,
yelling out to Bean
come out to play.
to come out and play, which is real weird.
So
So Bean,
Bean gives the dad, who has been missing this whole time.
he's fine.
Yeah.
He's
He's
fine.
fine, yeah. Because he got kidnapped like earlier that day.
Right.
They just
so
threw him out in the parking garage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bean gives the guy back his daughter and is like, "You're gonna pay me the $2 million ransom, right?"
No, they just put it in the trunk. They just had it.
They just
Like,
had
here
it.
we go.
Right.
Here,
Randomly
Yeah.
had it.
you
Like,
can
are
just-
you okay giving this to us?
right?
And they're like,
Yeah, sure, whatever.
yeah. So
So Bean and Rally just drive off.
Bean and Rally just literally drive off in. They're like,
before that, though, they come across
"Oh,
The victim,
Victim.
again.
yeah, victim.
who he's like, the streets are really rough.
should come with us.
You'd look-
live.
You'd look. He said something about you'd look. You'd
Yeah,
look
she
a
pulled
lot.
a gun on him.
Right, she had the gun pulled on him. And he's like, "You'd look a lot better with a lollipop than with that gun." Because this movie,
Which
just-
Metaphors.
Which just reinforces the whole like, how old is this person?
right, super
How old
uncomfortable.
Is she? Because
She adorably falls asleep in the back seat after she
For some
accepts
reason.
Yeah,
Reason.
shoved the seat, shoved him into the steering wheel, trying to get the seat
Right.
comfortable.
They get her into the car. 'Cause I guess she's going to be their companion now.
Ew. Why are you this way?
And they drive off towards the cops. And
Into the sunset.
yep,
And then like they start this like porn music.
and that was
That was-
Riding
yeah.
Bean.
So, on a scale of Excel Saga to The Cell Saga, how do you rate this film?
Well, this at least had a plot, whereas Excel Saga did not. It just went and went and went. Like it moved really fast, but that issue in there, I'm not touching that. No, this is worse than Excel Saga. Just for that little plot line.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
So no,
That's fair.
it's yeah. So I guess this is the new zero.
We'll move Excel Saga up to a 0.5.
There we go. A half a
You were
point.
willing to watch the third episode if we made you do it. Like,
That's a contradiction.
you know.
No, I'm not. But I was nowhere near as uncomfortable.
That's fair.
Yeah. So yes.
Okay. Okay.
So my favorite part, I guess, would be Percy and Rally. If we could get a show of Percy and Rally,
Yeah.
his enthusiasm and her competence, I would watch that.
Okay.
Totally.
That's fair.
Maybe.
Maybe might be my second choice for when this comes back around to me again.
Okay.
To show you the gunsmith. Maybe.
Okay.
After you watch it, make sure there's nothing embarrassing. We shall see.
The worst part was, of course, the implied pedophilia. That's the worst part. That kills this.
Yeah.
But this has been me versus Riding Bean. I'm real sorry, y'all.